for episode 54 of the Columbus Comics Corner podcast. My name is Ryan. As always with me is my main man, my co-host, Alan. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Welcome back. It feels like we just talked like 24 hours ago about a bunch of X-Men comics.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Speaking of which, if this is your first time listening, we have several podcasts that we do. We have the X-Men Monday podcast, and you can find all of that stuff over at columbuscomicscorner.podbean.com and on iTunes as well. On iTunes, you can subscribe, rate, and review us. We greatly appreciate it. Spread the word if you love us, or if you dig what we're doing. What else? We have a website, which is columbuscomicscorner.tumblr.com, and you can also follow us on Twitter at ComicsCornerPod. And we also are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network, so we definitely want to appreciate all their support over there. And what else? We are a spoilers podcast. That's what else. So if you have not read Flash number 36, the book that is in the show notes, should be the title on this episode as well. Go ahead and hit pause, come back when we get to that book. But first, we are going to be talking about some news though, because there's really a lot that dropped over these past couple weeks. But we kind of just picked a few more recent ones, and I gotta say, within the past 3 days, a lot dropped. A lot.
Yes, yeah.
I'll let you take away this first bit, because I know you're beyond stoked when you saw this on the feed, I'm sure.
Yeah, this was amazing to see the Miles Morales trailer. I mean, I was stoked, I was pumped, I was excited, I said everything. So many emotions watching this. It was a big surprise that this is going to be a theatrical release. I mean,
yeah, they
I can't think of the last time
I was like, oh shit, oh wow, oh okay, I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to theaters with this. Okay, that's cool. We can do that.
I'm more than likely probably going to see it in 3D as well. I'm sure they're going to do 3D. I'm going to see it in both.
That was one of the things. I love 3D, and I was watching it was like, this looks like this will be amazing in 3D.
Yeah, because the animation, I mean, I'm floored away by the animation. Like, that's what really sucked me in. Like, I was just shocked and surprised at Sony, because I'm not sure, Sony doesn't do many animations, do they?
Sony does not do a lot of animations, and Marvel is sparingly that they do them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they have like the Guardians, but this is the animation that you need for a theater. I can understand why they're putting it in theaters, because again, the visual alone was able to suck me in. Yeah, there's a sweet taste to it, like the artistic style. Like at one point when he was jumping through the cars, they like flashed this sort of pop art comic book style. And then it jumped back into the regular visual, the effects. I mean, I didn't notice like a couple odd lagging shots, kind of towards the beginning. So I'm sure that might be fixed. It
was with some of the movement.
Yeah, it was the movement when he was on the building. I wish I could remember the exact. He was like kind of pulling his head back.
Yeah, it was the part when he was kind of sort of crawling. It was right before he jumped off.
Yes, yep, exactly.
He was sticking to the building, and then he kind of like sat back and crawled up a little bit, and then he jumped off.
Yep, that was the scene. So maybe that can be corrected,
that threw me off
sure.
too. That's what I was thinking too. Especially this is like a year away. Like this 2018 sometime is coming out.
This is technically a teaser.
Christmas,
trailer.
I think it said. Did it say?
Yeah, Christmas.
Yeah, this is like a super teaser.
Yeah. But we get some. I mean, I do want to go ahead and dive into the fact that I'm assuming this is the Ultimate Universe, right? Because we are getting the origin. I'm assuming.
Seems like we may be getting the origin. If we're not getting the origin, this will probably be like a few. It'll probably be the origin. This will probably be a few months after Peter died, because I'm willing to bet that the grave he was standing at was Peter Parker's grave.
Oh, do you think he's possibly talking to Peter? Because at the end scene,
yeah.
Like a ghost
but the
Peter?
thing is this: think about the title of the movie, though. It's Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse, and even in the trailer, they make it a point to say, that there's more than one person that wears the mask of Spider-Man. And anybody who knows about Spider-Verse knows that that Spider-Man from across the different multiverses meet each other.
Plethora.
So I took it as the movie itself is probably going to be, like you just said, the origin story of Miles, and the end, they're going to bring in the idea of the Spider-Verse, and he's probably talking to like the 616 Peter.
Right. That makes
And
perfect
then
sense.
the genius thing is by calling it Enter the Spider-Verse, it sets it up to where they can do either the exact Spider-Verse or, dare I say, the next movie could be Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen. I don't doubt that we won't see her in
They're
here.
doing so much with both Miles and Spider-Gwen that I think that we are. If this is successful, I believe that the next movie would be Spider-Gwen.
I know you want Spider-Gwen real bad, but
And
I need some Spider-Woman.
I would some Spider-Woman would be awesome, but I think part of what they like with the Spider-Verse is more to introduce the idea of spider characters outside of the main continuity.
Right.
I'm with you though. I would love to see our Spider-Woman, traditional one for those who want to be sticklers and talking about, well, there's like 3 Spider-Women. You know what I'm talking about.
Our Jessica Drew right now.
Yeah, we want to see Jessica. I would say this though. One of the reasons why I would love for the next movie to be Spider-Gwen is because looking at the animation and the art direction, I think Earth 65 would look amazing.
That was my first thought. Yeah, I do want to touch on some of the city shots too. And
first shot where they show the whole city, amazing.
Yes, and yeah, definitely go with the artistic style. I can see it would be perfect for Earth 65. Like, it would look so much better than the current comic book run. I think, like tenfold.
Yeah, all you have to do is just brighten up some of the colors, and that's it.
Because they were close enough. You saw some like highlights of it. So they're getting you.
That's what made me think about when I saw it. I was like, oh. When I saw it, I was like, oh, Spider-Gwen, this would be perfect.
Right. They're trying to get you used to it before they go all flashy with it. But I gotta say, like, I'm not a huge like Miles fan. Like, not in a bad way. Like, I like him as a character. I just don't read enough of him. But they seem to be treating him right within this trailer. Is what I picked up on it. Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it seems like they're treating him with respect. For those who are Miles fans since day one, it seems like they may stray just barely away from, because I saw the Prowler in there. That part when he's jumping.
Oh, was that who that was?
Yeah, that is exactly who that was. That was the Prowler. That was the reason he is Spider-Man.
Okay.
So for those who are diehard fans, it looks like they're going to at least keep that in there. So then that's huge.
And do we meet his parents early on in his run?
I didn't really get all the way early on into his run. I know that we met his mother early on. I don't know how long it took before we met his father, and I know we met his uncle. So we pretty much do get the setup of who he is and where he's at in life when he gets the powers.
Very nice. And you see his kicks? Those kicks were lit.
Yes. Yes.
They really are treating it with so much. I mean, you can tell by the animation, like they are putting money into this. Like they are trying to take it to the next level in animation. And I can only imagine what was it, maybe The Incredibles 2 has to face now. Like they need to
that last shot of the trailer when he's swinging over the roofs and he lands and then he pulls his mask off and finally, because through the whole trailer we should probably mention you don't see his face.
Yeah, until the end.
So and that's awesome for those who are Miles fans and also for those who don't even know who he is as a character.
Right. Nice little reveal for you.
I can only imagine little kids who don't know who that is. And I'm like, oh, it's Spider-Man. I like that new suit. And then all of a sudden he lands and takes it off. And I'm like, wait a minute, what?
And you know, it's awesome. Like, I was actually, it's kind of perfect. We're speaking of Spider-Man today because I was at work and a couple of my coworkers, they have kids, and they were talking about their kids want a bunch of Spider-Man stuff for Christmas and their birthday and whatnot. So I was like, I can only imagine what Miles is going to do for kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I was telling my wife how they've been doing some things lately with Miles because Miles was a regular character on the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon that ended a few years ago, like the last season. They made it a point they brought in Miles. They did the whole Spider-Verse thing the last season of that, and they brought in Miles, and they actually made him a recurring character.
Okay.
the current Spider-Man cartoon is on right now as we speak has both Gwen Stacy, who is going to become Spider-Gwen, and Miles Morales on there, who is set to become Spider-Man.
I should probably start watching that then, huh?
Yeah, and they're keeping Peter, so they're gonna have all three of them together.
That's gonna be awesome. And it's only. I wonder if this is like their backdoor way of like introducing him as a character to get him into the movies.
Yep, because this was a huge discussion, and when me and my wife were discussing this, there was an interview out back when the Amazing Spider-Man was out. I don't know you remember Amazing Spider-Man from Andrew Garfield.
I really like the first one. One of my favorites actually of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Well, they were at that time when the first one came out. They were throwing out, okay, we're gonna do that's when Sony was like, oh, we're about to do 5 of these or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
In an interview, he talked about playing Spider-Man that many times, and in his mind, what he wanted to happen was introduce Miles in like the second or third movie, and then by the time he's done Andrew playing Peter Parker, he would have wanted to have passed it to Miles Morales. So we would have had like 5 movies with Peter, and then going forward would have been Miles.
Okay, yeah, that would be.
So
nice.
I think the idea to use him in this kind of way to kind of bring him to I want to say the public eye has been in the works for a while. And I think it's been in the works on a few different levels, and it was just coming to the point where he made to use him in some kind of fashion.
And let's be glad that they took their time, and I mean, not by choice, but I'm glad that at least we had that time for them to really develop it in this way. And yeah, it blew me out of the water.
Yeah.
Like I just watched it maybe for the first time yesterday, like a couple days after it dropped, and I was just like, wow, whoa. That's all I could really say, like the whole time watching, just like, wow, this looks stunning.
Yeah. Looks stunning, and then you saw that in theaters. You was like, "Wait a minute, what?"
What? Yeah.
Then it was like Christmas, like, whoa, 2018. Whoa, wait a minute. This is like a year.
Yeah,
a year away.
I'll definitely watch the next trailer because that way we can get some of the story.
Yes.
Hopefully, just a little bit of the story, because this essentially just introduces him as a character. I feel, and saying, "Hey, we're building this little Spider-Verse." And we're about to throw it all at you, all of it.
I think the next thing that we're going to hear about this is there's going to be a featurette. I think there's going to be some kind of featurette. It's going to show some art design, some concept art, some stuff that is going to be there.
Behind the scenes stuff on this.
Get that
Blu-ray.
Yeah, I think that's going to be. Oh man.
Blu-ray. Yeah.
The Blu-ray would be bananas.
I usually don't buy Blu-rays, but for this, I need to learn how they did this, how they pulled this off. So. But kudos to everyone. If you're any reason you listen to this, kudos. Looks great, and we're stoked for it. Let's move on to our next trailer that has CGI, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not comparable to the Miles Morales trailer. That is Alita, Battle Angel. The first trailer finally dropped. I remember hearing about this, and I'm still skeptic. Do you have any? do you have any like background with it at all?
I was familiar with the anime.
Okay, yeah, I've seen the anime, and then I inherited some of the comics from my older brother growing up. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, I haven't, and essentially, I mean, the first trailer that we got today, you got for the most part, the one good thing they did, I thought, was her origin scene. I mean, that's essentially how she becomes armored up. So I am a fan of it. I am skeptic because I believe this is Sony as well, if I'm correct.
I think so.
I think it is because I was like, oh, okay. So I mean, what were some of your thoughts on this? Are you excited for this? Were you like, oh, okay, another comic book movie? Let's see what they got.
I didn't even know that this was happening until I saw the trailer, and when I did see the trailer, I was like, it threw me off at first, and then I realized, like, well, no, that's actually what it should kind of look like. Like, it should look like that.
It should. Yeah. Like,
because in the trailer, I mean, she essentially looks like a mannequin.
A mannequin android, yeah. essentially what she is, and yeah, she gets
Yeah,
picked
it's what she is. But I'm saying like they didn't make an attempt to do like a Ghost in the
humanize
Shell
her.
where, yeah, she's an
Yeah,
android, but she looks extremely close to being human. It's like, no, she's an android and she looks like an android.
yeah,
Like she doesn't look like a human.
right. And I know a lot of people are gonna give it crap for the eyes, Alita's eyes, and
I love it.
yeah, exactly, and I respect them. I don't know if I love it necessarily. I think it seems they don't seem natural fit. Maybe that can change, but I respect that they
That's kind of
are.
why I like it.
I respect that they are going. They are paying homage and respect to the actual manga anime movie or animation movie back in the day. So I do respect that. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the CGI just doesn't fit with me just yet. Some of it was a little
and
off.
and that's kind of why I like it. Because at first when I was watching, I was totally like that. I was like, this doesn't quite seem right because we're so used to super polished CGI, and if we see something that looks like this, even remotely, we're like, oh, it's terrible. And then I started realizing like she looks because she should look unnatural. She shouldn't look natural.
Yeah, not even her. Like some of
And
the
then I was like,
surroundings as well. Like I mean, it fits for this like post-apocalyptic world. I'm still
mm-hmm.
going in like hoping it's a good story as well because I just hope the story is strong. And I mean, when I saw some of the roster of the actors and actresses they have, Mashallah
When I saw the
Ali,
director,
yeah, Robert Rodriguez, Jennifer
I love
Connelly,
Robert Rodriguez movies.
and yeah, Jennifer Connelly's in here as well. So like, it has all the perfect pieces to make for a good movie. I just hope
Mm-hmm.
really do hope it nails it because I still haven't seen Ghost in the Shell. I was, I really have no desire, and I'm a fan of Ghost in the Shell, like the original animation movie. I'm a fan of it.
Same here.
I just had no desire to watch it, unfortunately. But I hope this one is the one that's like good. But the CG almost seems like PS3 graphics at points. Like some of her movements and some of the armored monsters. She was not monsters, but armored people. They were she was battling. So and I mean I'll give another credit. The trailer didn't give anything away really. We just know that she's built and she's got to fight some evil people. We're not sure why or what the reason is yet. So. But, being a fan of the comic series, I just hope it, pays it some service.
Yeah, you and me both. Well, being a fan of the anime, I hope it pays it some service too.
For sure. But yeah, not too much on that, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, coming off that Miles trailer, those graphics, I mean, it's just hard to...
Woo!
hard
We
to
gotta stop
top
talking
that.
about Miles, man.
Hard to top
We're
that.
like this show is like the Miles Morales episode. Oh yeah, and some other stuff too.
And some other stuff, too. Because the other stuff is Jessica Jones trailer. Season 2 dropped yesterday.
Yes, I
Nowhere.
definitely saw that a couple times.
It was another nice little reminder that she is a badass with a little barracuda action.
hmm And she's got some unfinished business.
She has some unfinished business with more than likely Purple Man. Looks like he will be possibly returning.
Well, I called the first season. They're not going to kill the Purple Man.
Oh, no,
like
they can't.
I don't think they kill the Purple Man.
If he comes back as David Tennant, who knows? Maybe they pull
I think he will.
a character swap.
I hope not.
Or it's like it's a character swap, but in the end, it's actually, you find out Purple Man is behind it all. But yeah, I mean, really, it's just a little teaser just to get us comfortable again with Jessica Jones. Felt like a natural continuation from season 1.
Yeah. Well, it felt like a continuation from season 1 for me, and also a continuation from the Defenders.
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question. The guy that she's hooking up with now, did she meet him in Defenders, or is that someone totally new for this season?
I believe he was totally new for this season.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no hooking up in the Defenders.
All action.
It was all action with some awkwardness between her and Luke Cage.
Okay. Figures. I do hope
which was awesome.
I bet. I still need to watch. I will at some point. I do hope we get some Hellcat. I hope we officially get Hellcat. You know, I'm a big fan of Patsy Walker, so I hope they actually they actually develop her story more, because she had a great role in the first season, and still one of my favorite Netflix Marvel series so far, like Daredevil and then Jessica Jones right now, and then Luke Cage.
I think that she actually is. They're supposed to be exploring the relationship between Patsy and Jessica more this season, and we saw them lay the foundation in the first season for her into that role.
Right.
So I'm willing to bet by the end of this season, we probably will see her in some kind of costume, maybe.
Yeah,
Analyzed version.
Even just Hellcat, a reference calling her Hellcat.
That would be awesome.
Her kicking ass, yeah. But yeah, this should be. I'm sure. I wonder if they're gonna, because I believe the first season was all female directors, or maybe I heard news that this season was gonna be all female directors or writers. So that should be really badass as well. Yeah, but yeah, unless you got anything else on that, again, I mean, there's a lot to talk about within that Miles trailer, just because they really are setting up a lot. Like a lot.
Oh yes, they are so much.
There. A lot to speculate. Not to take away from Jessica Jones, which I'm excited for, and I'm not pessimistic. I'm on the fence about Alita. I'm just hoping. I'm going in expectations low, and hope it blows out of the water though. We got anything else on the news or the Jessica Jones piece before we move on?
No.
Cool. Well, let's get into this week's comic book pick for this episode, which is Flash number 36, written by Joshua Williamson, with art from Howard Porter, colors from Hi-Fi, and letters Steve Wands. Go ahead and take it away, Alan.
Well, we actually get to catch back up with Barry Allen. Feel like it's been a while. We find out now that he's been working at Iron Heights, and he's called there to investigate a murder. It seems that a villain known as Turbine has been murdered. Sir takes credit for the murder. Barry's pretty sure that he's not the culprit. We then find out that Professor Cold is actually living up to what he said he was going to do all those issues ago, and he has become a king of crime and has a secret lair under Iron Heights. And he might possibly be teaming up with an old foe known as Godspell. Could be interesting.
Or Godspeed. Godspell.
Godspeed, yeah. Why I say Godspell? Wow. Godspeed. I did say Godspell. Forgive me, people. Don't revoke my comic book license.
Yeah, we are returning to Flash. I haven't personally read this book since The Button. And even before
Either one of us has.
Even then we weren't reading it, right? Because we kind of fell off.
We did a couple issues before The Button.
Yeah, but there's a nice little gap in between that and The Button, I thought.
There was. There's been a nice gap. Because The Button was like, what, 20? The Button was like 20 and 21, I think.
Yeah, when I saw the numbering on this, I was like, wow, like, we are almost over a year now.
Yeah.
DC Rebirth. Wow. That's wild. That is wild. Yeah. But yeah, my overall thoughts, though, I mean, we are returning to this. One thing that did kind of crack me up is we are getting, when we get when you turn the first page, you get the rundown of kind of what he's been, or everything he's been up to. You see him, looks like it's during the metal tie-in, I'm sure, and then whatever Superman arc he did, and then it looks like another metal tie-in. And I'm not sure what the Darkseid tie-in may have been, but I was like, where's the Button at? I
thought that kind of would have been important.
That should have been important, I thought. Maybe they did not allow him to do that. They're like, we got to take the Button off everything for now until only person that's touching it is Jeff Johns at this point. That really did throw me off because, I mean, maybe, I don't know, but at the same time, I know it's been, 15 issues ago now, but still, it's pretty important, I thought. But yeah, nitpick aside, overall, really felt like a first issue to an arc that you caught up on everything and everything previously, and very, very new reader friendly, I thought. You really will learn everything. Did you kind of get that vibe as well?
Yeah, Yeah, it felt like that. Feeling, realizing it's been so long since we read it as, comic readers, it still felt like it was new reader friendly because you got told what Flash has been up to, what he's doing now. Even when they reintroduced that Godspeed was in here, they actually tell you who Godspeed is and set that up real fast for you. They let you know what's going on with the rogues. Like everything is like nice and neatly set up here, like a first issue. Like that's exactly what it is. It's like a first issue that drops you right in there and says, "This is what you need to know to go from here on out."
Yeah, I guess that kind of threw me off because I would have wanted more story opposed to
Mhm.
just the whole issue. Really felt like it was just catching you up on everything. Even when they're figuring out all the detective stuff, even Barry's narration, he's still telling you things that's going on in the past. So I just figured we would have moved
Yeah,
somewhat forward. And when we were actually reading, right before we dropped off reading it, before Button, is when Godspeed was introduced. So it's, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of always dealing with speedsters. And lately it seems like we've been dealing with a lot of speedsters. And kind of, like, one of my notes as well was, it kind of feels like the Flash show. This issue felt like watching the CW Flash show. Your procedural crime,
and that was because speedsters.
speedsters, procedural crime, that sort of dialogue. So maybe I want to say it was a fun issue, but I'm not sure if I'm liking the approach or the direction that it's going right now with this arc.
Well, we had a speedster who died and who may have been killed by another speedster.
Yeah,
We have a speedster investigating. So I mean, I'm totally with you. I understand the idea of the Flash. I mean, the fastest man alive. So we have to give him um, foes that can give him a challenge. And for somebody that fast, you have to have somebody fast or faster to give him a challenge. I get that. It's kind of like you said with the show. Flash is even more public now than ever before.
mm-hmm.
Constantly give him speedsters to fight is a little. I
Yeah,
don't know. I want something new.
kind of running out of ideas. It feels like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless this is a way to start killing off speedsters. I never even heard of Turbine until this one.
yeah. Turbine was. I actually did a little bit of research on him. He's actually because I was interested in him. I was kind of, it's kind of funny too. I was like, oh man, Joshua Williamson's writing this like a horror movie. Black guy dies first. You don't even get a touch of
Yeah,
it.
and he gave him an interesting backstory.
Exactly.
So it's like,
Yeah, because he's very neutral from what I've read up on him. Not necessarily with the rogues or with Flash. He just kind of does his own thing. He's like, I don't need the rogues in my life. You guys are always locked up. And I'll get excuse me, I'll get to that later as far as them being locked up. But yeah, I wish they would have kept Turbine for this arc. Like, why not? Even with him, I know not to back or not to what's that word I'm looking for? Not to contradict myself, but at least with
yes,
Turbine, I feel like there's at least a story to go into him. We've already seen Godspeed. He was introduced like almost 15, 20 issues ago. It feels like. So why go back to the well with that? I don't know.
yeah, like he's still a really new character. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Godspeed was just
I don't know.
introduced, so yeah,
They feel he's interested enough to make us want to find out more. I guess I don't know.
I'm not sure either. But yeah, I mean, you get your whole who's done it. The one thing I kind of liked about this was the Rogues Mafia, the family they're trying to build. Because we see
Yes, that scene was awesome.
yeah, because we see Copperhead and she's like he's always Flash is always in the way. Maybe it is time we all come together as a big old crime family. And actually did some research on her as well because I thought Copperhead the Copperhead I'm familiar with is the one that actually wears like the snake Copperhead. So I was like, I wonder which Copperhead this is, and if I'm correct and my research is right, this is an Arkhamverse Copperhead character.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if I'm correct, someone maybe correct me on that, or I'll correct myself on the next episode. But yeah, I believe she is
They
from
won't.
I probably won't.
No, you're forget.
I will. Yeah, I think she's an Arkhamverse character, and I do like that aspect. Like, I'm at least interested in that side of like this mafia family coming together. It is interesting that we are getting the Rogues again. That's why it does feel like we picked up right where we left off because we finished with the Rogues arc, and that's where we left off before the button.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious you said that. That is where there was a couple issues after the Rose arc, but we did leave off of that.
Yeah, that's like the one that we really liked, and then the couple issues after that, we were like, not sure. Check back later.
But also, if you remember when I just did my synopsis of this, there was something I made a comment on that really made it feel like it was something we just left off with like a couple weeks ago. The fact that when we left off on that Rogues arc, Snark, Captain Cold said that he was going to use, because remember Barry was like, you should use your brains to do something great, and he made the decision he was going to use his brains to become the king of crime.
Yeah, let's
and here we are.
Yeah, speaking of the Rogues, because he actually mentions during that as well. He's like the best. This is the best life. I'm not exactly sure about the whole color, the limited time. Like, how long does that necessarily work? That's what we should have been delving into. I think, like the science
how he's tricking
that.
The collars.
Yeah, let's get into the science behind that as opposed to taking most of the issue to catch up new readers who may be jumping on. Like, let's figure out some of those specs. Like, how did Snark figure this out? Like, he's a smart guy if he is able to do that. Let's see that, But maybe we might see it next issue. I'm not sure if I'll stick around to see the next issue. But yeah, what were some of your thoughts on that? The whole best life living under prison.
Well, it's like I said. He said he was going to be the king of crime, and he's actually doing it. And it appears to be working out pretty well for him. I mean, they have their spoils down there. He got his little throne. He's like sitting on gold and everything. So, I mean, it's working for him.
How are they going to be? My question is, how are they going to find time to go out and spend it without their collars not working? That's why we need to know these things.
we do, because I was wondering, like, what's going to be his ultimate end goal here? Like, when is it he's going to be like, okay, we've got enough money, we're going to actually escape now? Mm-hmm. Or does he plan on them actually serving their terms and then getting out and just being rich? I would
thought
like
about
to
that
know
too.
that.
I was like, maybe they're going to be, serve their time, sit on it. I mean, which would be smart, but these rogues, they ain't going to sit for that.
Oh, no. Someone's going to want to spend it.
Oh, easily. More than like a little Mirror Master. I know he has a little coke habit. So, if he's still a junkie, I'm not sure. That's probably been retconned at this point. Good. I will say, the Flash, the one thing that's always attracted me to the Flash as a character has been his suit. And I think this may have been the best drawn costume I've seen since Rebirth. Like, it looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of the ears and how they come out opposed to it being on the mask itself.
Yeah, I will agree that this is definitely one of the better of the Flash costume that really draws you to the suit is the ears, opposed to, like you said, normally they're like just. Yeah, they're coming out the side right here. They're right here, but it looks awesome here.
Yeah, they're prominent. Yeah, and the art was fun.
The art was fun. It was really nice.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say that I was agreeing that the art is nice. The good art.
Word. Sorry, everyone. Listen, we have a weird connection tonight. But what else? Sid, do you think you're gonna be jumping back on to figure out how this all goes? You gonna keep me informed?
I may pop in just because I'm interested in what's going on with Rogues. Like, the Captain Cold thing's interested me enough.
Yeah, the Mafia thing. Maybe I'll give it another issue. I kind of saw the whole
mafioso.
Kind of saw the Trickster thing coming a mile away. Though I was like, yeah, he's a pawn. Yep. Like, some of it was
when he jumped out, I was like, yeah, no, but nope. Easy trick. So you're obviously the fall guy.
I see that he is trying to have like some fun with a Flash book, but I think
Mm-hmm.
some of the steps that he's taken so far, and maybe it's mandated that he has to have this speedster. I don't know. It feels like a TV, or it feels like the Flash show opposed to reading a Flash comic, though.
Well, the Flash show is pretty popular right now, so I mean, when that happens, you know that they're going to be like, you know what, we need to use some of this here.
Yeah, they threw a lot of old school villains as well, like Trigger Twins and Bug-Eyed Bandit.
Yes,
Some
I saw
goofy
the Trigger
stuff.
Twins and was like, wow,
Yeah, pulling out the vault. But Watt
we're
looked great
digging
though.
deep.
I'm glad he got a little cameo in here to do his thing. I'm gonna go with a 6.5 this time around for Flash. Oh, it sounds like we may be on the same page. But yeah, overall, I
We are
mean,
on the same page.
I love the art. The art was pretty good for me. I like aspects of the story. There's just some things that I thought should have been taken out. Like I just didn't want to jump into this issue and feel like a new reader. I know like every issue should be feel like it first to a new reader, but this just felt too like, hey, we're going to tell you everything. Even people who know about the Flash, or at least jumped on way back, at least know what's going on. But I just feel like we're retreading everything that we just saw. Like, kind of ready to move on. I figured all those things were wrapped up by now. Closed case as far as buried goes. but yeah, you're a 6'5" as well.
I'm a 6'5". I think it's hilarious that we just landed right there together. Yeah, I think that I'm with you. I can respect the idea of setting it up so that this could be somebody's first issue. Anybody can pick this up and they're instantly know on with Flash over almost the last year, just about.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. But at the same time, I think I would have thought we were going to be a little bit further than this.
Yeah.
Just because, like you said, it's been a year since we read the last issue of Flash that we did on the show. And this is basically almost picking up right where that left off with the Rose in jail, the Kingpin of crime thing. So, I don't know. I have a weird relationship with this issue.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Like, I
it's
like
very
it,
odd.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I will stick around because I'm interested in Copperhead and to see what's going on with the whole how these rogue families are going to come together. But too bad they killed off Turbine. Like, come on now. Come on now.
Here's this interesting character. We're going to kill him.
I should ding it for that. I kind of already did, I guess. But cool, that is our comic book review for this episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. This is more of our lately it's become our laid back bi-weekly show that bi-weekly show that we do. We just grab some news, maybe 2 comic books, but lately it's just been 1. But you can find all of our episodes early in the show at columbuscomicscorner.podbean.com. We have the X-Men Monday podcast, our trade specials that we are slowly but surely doing our Spider-Woman one soon. Very, very soon. Maybe next weekend. We're going to talk off air about that and figure that out. But before we get out of here, Alan, you got anything else?
No, just thank you for listening yet again. If this is your first time listening to this show, hopefully you'll check out some of our other shows and find something that you like.